Today we have an exciting first look at Eagle 4 and its amazing new plugin system. Here's a quick sneak peek of what you can expect from this new update. Pinterest Visual Search allows you to find inspiration with the same vibe as your existing images. The new image background remover will help you, yeah, you guessed it, remove backgrounds from all selected images in bulk. Image Upscale will enhance blurry images and increase resolution with artificial intelligence. Use the image format converter to batch convert your images to another image format. And if you're looking to save some space, you can utilize the newly developed image compressor plugin. Smart Crop Selector allows you to use multi-select crop areas and quickly export your images. And managing all your ebooks in one place has never been easier. But that's not all. The browser extension is now more powerful than ever, and you can batch save images in high quality from several different supported websites. The duplicate finder has been improved as well, and you can now search for identical and similarly looking images to quickly erase duplicates. You can now pin your favorite filters to keep things tidy and organized. And the batch renamer will now give you a better preview to enhance your workflow. If you're a designer or creative, you will totally love this new update. And if you're not already using Eagle, stick around until the very end for a secret. Let's dive right in. Eagle has always been a powerful tool for media organization, but they have taken it yet to another level with Eagle 4. You can now add various plugins to Eagle to make it even more powerful. When it comes to the plugin system, there are different types of plugins. Some plugins will run in a separate window, while others run silently in the background. There are also plugins that extend unsupported file formats or add more information to the inspector. Installing plugins is a breeze. Simply go to the new plugin center, browse available plugins, and with just a few clicks, you can add new capabilities to your liking. If you're a creative developer and need special functionality that is not currently available, you should definitely check out their developer docs. Okay, let's take a look at the plugins now. Pinterest is a great source of inspiration. Finding images that fit your specific use case can be time-consuming though. This new plugin allows you to find similar looking images on Pinterest and either save them directly into your own library or add them to your search bar. I like to think of this as refining my search a little to find something more specific the further I keep digging. The UI is really simple and spot on. After downloading a couple of images, you may notice that some of them are blurry. That could be the case if the originally uploaded image on Pinterest had a small resolution or lots of compression to begin with. Good thing the Eagle team has thought about two solutions for this problem here. You cannot believe how happy I am about the new HighRes image finder. There's been so many cases in my life where I had a low-res image and didn't know how to find a larger version for printing, etc. This plugin conducts a detailed web search, quickly sourcing images of various sizes along with their dimensions. You can select your favorite and with just a click of a button replace your original image with the HighRes one. It is so amazingly simple. Where have you been all my life? No, seriously, I can't thank you guys enough for this one. Now, in the rare occasion you don't find a HighRes image, there's still another solution to choose from. Let me introduce you to the AI Image Enlarger. The AI Image Enlarger uses artificial intelligence to enhance unsharp or low-resolution images. It utilizes a special AI model to enhance your images more than 4 times their original size, which is crazy. On top of that, you can select a bunch of images for bulk processing to speed up your workflow. No need to use any online tools or Topaz AI, which in my opinion is severely overpriced anyways. Just get Eagle, which offers a lot more for a fraction of its price. Just a quick reminder here, as many other AI tools out there, this plugin will require extensive image processing power. If you only have an integrated graphics card, enlarging images may be slow or even lead to instabilities in your system. Aren't we all lazy sometimes? Opening Photoshop, importing your image, selecting an object, content-aware fill, then exporting your image again, blah blah blah. Simply removing an object from an image can take a while, and I always wish there was an easier way. I'm happy to say that you can now use the AI eraser to quickly resolve this issue. Simply select the object you want to remove, and AI will do its thing and quickly remove your selection from the image. The AI background remover is another real time saver. This allows you to bulk process lots of images and will surely only get better over time. It works fairly well and allows you to either override your existing images or save new ones. You could theoretically do something similar with scripts in Photoshop, but this plugin is so much simpler, and now that it's part of Eagle, you don't even have to pay anything extra. Let's talk about the image compressor now. If you have many images and you're looking for a way to save some space on your drives, this plugin is for you. You can select between lossy and lossless compression here. If you don't know what either of those options mean, lossless is basically just removing unnecessary data from the image, but the result will look identical visually. Lossless compression will not save you as much space as lossy compression, which can impact the quality of your images quite drastically, depending on your compression setting. I would suggest to test some different options here, or just go with lossless compression if you don't want to lower the quality of your images. As most of the other plugins, this allows you to bulk process lots of images at once. I've been using Adobe Photoshop to do this all my life previously, and it has always been quite cumbersome. And they actually took it even one step further with the next plugin. The Image Format Converter enables simple conversion of images to a different format like JPEG, PNG, or WebP. If you're a web designer, WebP is crucial and can save you a lot of space and drastically improve the speed of your website. Having a tool that allows you to effortlessly convert your images to WebP and compress them at the same time is a game changer for me personally. Out of all the other plugins, I have probably used this one the most. To be honest, I find the image compressor to almost be obsolete here, as the image format converter allows you to do both, change the format and compress your images at the same time. I do understand why they made two different plugins for this though, and if you just want to compress your images with the image compressor, it's still the way to go. Oh, and by the way, if you want to quickly export your images outside of Eagle, you can do that without a plugin actually. Just select a bunch of images and press Shift-E to export in specified format and dimensions. Select your desired export image format, quality, and even resolution. Changing the resolution is not currently possible in the image format converter. Therefore, I think that this feature is actually even more powerful, but to be clear here, they both serve different purposes, as the plugin changes files directly inside of your library, while the method I have explained just now is there to export images out of your Eagle library. Perhaps it would make sense to combine the image compressor and format converter to a single plugin called Image Processor or something, which would allow you to do everything: compress, change image format, resolution, etc. But that's just my 2 cents here. Next, let's take a look at the image cropping master. Creating several crops of the same image can be time consuming because you have to duplicate the file and crop each one individually. This plugin allows you to effortlessly crop multiple desired areas and export or save with a single click. If you press Shift while dragging the crop box, you can maintain a 1:1 aspect ratio, which is really helpful. I wish there was an easy way to set a specific aspect ratio for crop selections though. At the moment, you can only select the final dimensions and need to calculate the aspect ratio manually. I think it would be a good idea to add an aspect ratio option field with a log for each of your crop selections on the right here. That way, you could change your selection without impacting the underlying aspect ratio. Comparing different images side by side is now also possible thanks to the Image Comparator plugin. You can view your images in 3 different arrangements: side by side, split, and overlay. It would be nice if the side by side option allowed you to change the view on just one image without moving the other one. This can be done in Lightroom, for example, and could be useful if the images have slightly different resolutions or aspect ratios and you want to match them exactly side by side. Other than that, this is a really useful plugin that allows you to easily compare multiple images. This could be useful in cases where you cannot decide which photograph is better, for example. Jumping between multiple images can be tedious sometimes. To make this plugin even more useful for this scenario though, it would be nice if you could add a rating to any of the images. I think it could also make sense to add a delete button to make organization even simpler. Otherwise, you would still have to go back into your library after comparing your images to delete the ones you no longer need. Just some tiny little improvements here and there could make this so much better. The Copy Image Text plugin basically allows you to use Google's OCR API to copy text from any image quickly. Just keep in mind that your image will be sent to Google to process your request. I don't like the idea of that and wish there was native OCR inside Eagle, especially for things like PDF documents, so that you could search the contents of any file quickly. The video to GIF converter is pretty self-explanatory. It allows you to select FPS, quality, and resolution and will effortlessly convert all your selected videos to a GIF. Although I like GIFs, I think there is a better better file type to use for the web in the meanwhile, called WebM. Just like WebP, it is a free file format created by Google that is very efficient and supported by most browsers nowadays, as you can see here on the caniuse.com website. GIF is an outdated format and just can't hold up in terms of compression efficiency and quality compared to MP4 or WebM in my opinion. I would love to see this as a separate plugin. For anyone that likes using GIFs though, this is of course a very welcome addition. As I've explained in the beginning, some of the plugins enhance features directly inside of Eagle. The Media Info plugin, for example, enhances the information you can see for each file in the inspector. It allows you to view key attributes for video and audio without the need for a separate application. You can easily view details like format, codec, duration, frame rate, audio channels, and sampling rate. You can also hide this menu by clicking the drop-down icon here, which is a good idea as the inspector can become a little too crowded with all the additional information. This is a great addition to Eagle and an essential tool in my day-to-day workflow. If you're a photographer, you probably already know what the Histogram plugin is for. I personally use other tools like Zebras or a waveform monitor to judge my exposure and don't like using a histogram, but if you do, you can now install this plugin to add this feature to your inspector. The EXIF Metadata plugin is another useful tool for photographers. It allows you to view essential photographic details such as the focal length, exposure time, camera model, and aperture. I really like this plugin, but wish it was more of a core feature inside Eagle. Although you can filter by camera, you cannot do that for things like aperture and exposure time, which could be really useful to find specific images, as these properties can severely affect the look of your photos. For example, longer exposures give you this type of look, and at the moment there's no way to filter your photos, except for tagging them manually. Earlier versions of Eagle allowed you to use smart folders for that, but you can no longer create them, and quite frankly, there have been some limitations for things like shutter speed, as you can see here, which didn't let you select shutter speeds longer than half a second. I wish they would implement this for us photographers to make our lives a little easier here. The ePub format extension will allow you to experience a whole new level of ebook and document management in Eagle. No more need for a separate application. You can adjust text size, line height, change background color, and choose between different font options to suit your preferences. There are also some other format extensions worth mentioning here, like the video thumbnail extension, which creates thumbnails for otherwise not supported video formats in Eagle. Keep in mind though, that this one will unfortunately not allow you to playback any of these video formats. I think Eagle is still missing support for some very crucial video formats like ProRes or DNxHR, which are commonly used in professional video editing. It's not too much of a deal, as you can open these files in a different player, but it would be a hell of a lot easier and more comfortable if you could preview all of the files inside of Eagle. If you're a fan of old school Flash games and animations, you'll love to hear that you can also preview files in the SWF format by installing the corresponding format extension. Then there's two more extensions that you should know about that add support to specific file formats. The HEIC format extension, for example, will allow you to preview images from your iPhone on your Windows computer inside of Eagle. And since macOS Ventura decided to drop support for the EPS image format for some reason, you now also need a plugin for that. Otherwise, you won't be able to preview these file types inside of Eagle. But that's not all. Eagle 4 comes with a huge redesign for many of the UI elements, and here are the most important changes. Eagle 4 features a clean, new, and modern look. The frosted glass and transparency reminds me of when Windows Vista first came out, and I am a huge fan of this aesthetic and think it looks great. The team behind Eagle has also redesigned their icons to better differentiate between the application icon, between plugins, Eagle packs, and libraries. You can change the color and the preferences to your liking, and remove all transparency effects if you're not a huge fan of it. The UI appears too small, you can also increase the zoom level here. But it's not just the looks. Essential panels like the tag menu have been completely redesigned to further improve user experience. You can use a keyboard shortcut and press T to open the tag menu. That menu features a sidebar that now gives you a better overview of all your tag groups. Tags are also separated for better readability and are well structured now. When it comes to tag management, the interface has also been reworked drastically. You can now switch between alphabetical or group ordering and can easily batch rename your tags. The tag creation panel has also been improved and features a sleek design that allows you to quickly add tags to existing groups or add completely new ones. If you're more of a folder person, you should know that you can quickly add files to multiple folders by pressing F. This panel has also been reworked to match the rest of the design, and you can quickly switch between all folders by pressing Tab, recent ones, and just the selected ones. And here's one more keyboard shortcut to speed up your workflow. Press J and you can quickly navigate to any folder. This is a favorite among the Eagle team, and after trying it for a while, I totally understand why. These two keyboard shortcuts are really helpful because you cannot open two Eagle instances side by side. Not sure if this is a limitation of the software, but Quick Search and the folder panel do certainly allow a more streamlined workflow here. The library panel has been reworked as well and now gives you a better overview of all your databases. Changing icons is now also possible and allows you to differentiate multiple libraries more easily. Like most other things, the inspector and sidebar were also redesigned to match the rest of the new aesthetic. Looks great and feels very polished. In case you didn't know, you can create actions in Eagle and map them to a specific keyboard shortcut. I really like the idea, but wish they had more options to choose from. Now that we have plugins, it would be nice if we could create actions to add your selection to a specific plugin instead of having to click your way through the right-click context menu. On top of all the other changes, Eagle 4 comes with significant speed improvements, as you can see here. There are tons of new file formats that are now natively supported and can be viewed inside of your library. The batch saving feature by using the browser plugin has been completely redesigned to improve user experience as well. The filters have been moved to the side for easier accessibility. It looks great, but still has some weaknesses. Unfortunately, it will not download the high-resolution file for all websites, but here's a list of websites where this is possible, and the Eagle team is constantly working to add more. I also really like what they did with their batch renaming feature. It has also been completely redesigned and gives you a live preview of your changes. Although it still lacks some features of more advanced renaming tools, the new foundation looks very powerful, and I'm sure we'll see more features like replacing specific patterns using regular expressions coming in the future. They've also updated and unified the design of the right-click context menu, which now has a built-in search. It just makes everything a little faster and is easier to work with, as there are quite a few options to choose from in the meanwhile. They have expanded the copy option, which now allows you to copy a link to your Eagle file, the folder path, thumbnail, file name, or even base64, which is basically a conversion from binary code to simple text. That is useful if you want to add an image to your email signature, for example, where you can often only write HTML code and not attach any images directly. Here's a quick code snippet that you could use to add an image to your signature. Just make sure your signature accepts HTML code and replace the long string after the first comma. No more need to use an online converter for that. If you're looking for a way to search by image, you can now also use the reverse image search feature inside of this context menu. It supports several different services and is way faster than navigating to those websites manually. The team behind Eagle is really listening, and many of my feature requests have been successfully implemented over the past few years. For example, you can now share files via AirDrop on macOS, which alongside many other sharing options makes collaborations with other non-Eagle users a total breeze. You can now also open multiple files in an application of your choice for easier bulk processing on a Mac. And subfolder thumbnail visibility has been improved slightly as well, so you get a better idea of which files sit in a folder. All of these were requests I had personally, and although it sometimes took a little while, the Eagle team really listened. Huge shout out to Hope and Lulu from the support team, who have been very patient with me and all my crazy ideas over the past few years. Thank you. The font viewer has also been improved and gives you a quick idea of missing characters in the glyph table. You can now preview fonts in various different settings without opening Photoshop or other designing software. This is basically Google Fonts in your own hands here, and a very welcome feature. You can also add bookmarks of websites to your Eagle library to view them inside of the app. Just keep in mind that this does not actually save the website in your library for offline reading. You will still need internet to access these bookmarks at the moment. And here's another big feature which gives more power to 3D content creators and designers. Eagle now supports a variety of different 3D model file types, and previewing them in your library is amazingly quick and easy. Smart folders now also support 2 more options and allow you to filter content by folder name and creation date, which has previously been missing. I personally love using smart folders for EXIF data, but they have removed this feature for some reason in more recent versions of the app. If you're interested in a template library which still has all of these smart folders set up for you, you should sign up for my newsletter. There are some more interesting settings worth checking out that have been added to the preferences, namely autoplay for WebP and GIF files and the behavior of your spacebar. You can now select between Eagle native preview, scroll the list, and even use Quick Look if you're on a Mac. I actually prefer Quick Look as the built-in macOS player offers extremely smooth playback for most video formats in my experience. Although they have improved the performance of the video player and hover preview for videos, it still feels a little laggy in my opinion. I guess I'm just spoiled by QuickTime Player, but take a look at this in comparison and see for yourself. It could be a matter of fine-tuning the code here, as it does seem to playback the video smoothly once you stop your cursor in place. Scrubbing through videos is really smooth in QuickTime Player in comparison though, especially when you're using a trackpad. The directions are unfortunately in reverse in Eagle, and I wish there was an option to change it. Sorry for putting so many personal feature requests into this video, but I really hope that this one will actually get implemented, so please, please, please. If you need to check on which devices your license is activated, you can do so in the newly designed Device Manager. Here you can view the count of activated devices and remaining activations, rename or remove unused devices, and add extra seats in case you need any. On top of scanning for completely identical duplicate files, they have now also implemented a new scanning method which allows you to remove similarly looking images of lower quality. You get a full overview of all the different resolutions and sizes and can then decide which of the files you want to keep. To make sure other similar looking images yet different images are left out, there is also a similarity slider that you can use to narrow down how similar the images have to be. You can either search through the entire library, specific folders, or just your selected files. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to have such a feature inside a file manager like Eagle, and they finally did this. Really happy this is finally part of the Eagle core software. It is really good, but still not 100% perfect though, and I saw some false positives here and there, even with the similarity slider set all the way to the maximum. If you're new to Eagle and this channel and haven't seen my previous video about the Eagle app, where I go into all the amazing details of this file manager, there is something important you should know here. Unlike traditional file explorers, Eagle uses a unique approach and creates a library for you instead of browsing your files directly. That means that each file needs to be imported into your library first, which essentially creates duplicates inside of your Eagle library. You can then just delete the file outside of your Eagle library, or just use Eagle's so-called auto import folders instead, which gets the job done for you automatically. In case you haven't heard about the auto import feature yet, it essentially works like a Dropbox. Everything you put in there gets added to your library automatically. Afterwards, the files are deleted from that folder so that you aren't left with a duplicate. It's a simple way to put files directly into your Eagle library. Although this library thing might scare some people, it comes with a plethora of advantages. First of all, it is really fast. Searching for file names, colors, tags, everything is there within milliseconds, even on extremely large libraries. And when it comes to duplicates, there's one thing that makes the library a lot more powerful than your traditional file explorer. Eagle allows you to save the same file in different folders without taking any additional storage space for it. The file is saved inside of your library just once and referenced from there as many times as you would like. This allows you to put it into folders of different projects without ever taking twice or multiple times the storage space. And when you import an identical file into your Eagle library, it automatically identifies that and allows you to create a link where it just references the original existing file inside of your library. This is immensely powerful and something a good file system should be doing for you, in my opinion. And in case you didn't know, the Apple file system does actually do something very similar for you, although it is not exactly the same. You can try this by duplicating a very large file on your Mac. As long as it is on the same drive and you don't modify this file that you just copied, it will only reference the original file and not use any additional storage space. Windows NTFS, which is another file system, does not have this feature. Now, if you use Eagle on Windows, it sort of behaves like the APF file system and is referenced as many times as necessary without taking any additional storage space. If you're a Windows user, you will totally benefit from this, especially if you work with many large files and want to save them in different locations for different projects or other things. Just keep in mind that if you export your entire Eagle library, that will of course duplicate these files, and then you'll have some problems on Windows again, as the file will actually be duplicated in each folder you have saved it in previously. Okay, that's it with all the changes for now. Although Eagle 4 was just freshly released, the team is already talking about Eagle 5 and has a clear vision of what you can expect from it. Eagle 5 will introduce AI semantic search, which will allow you to find the right media by searching something like cat sitting in HighRes. This will be made possible by AI automatic tagging, a feature many people will love to hear they are already working on. On top of that, they want to introduce stable diffusion to expand upon your ideas directly inside of Eagle. That will allow you to create images using AI by typing your own prompts. and all of that directly inside of Eagle. And last but not least, they are committed to releasing more helpful plugins and will add more download utilities, extensions, and wait for it, video editing software directly inside of Eagle. I really hope they can incorporate similar features like the trimming, splitting, and merging inside of QuickTime Player. If you haven't used it before, you should definitely try it out. It is really intuitive, fast, and very powerful. Unfortunately, QuickTime Player removes the original metadata like the record date, for example, which eliminates the possibility to search by creation date after you have trimmed a video. If they can nail this in Eagle, it will be so much more appealing to video creators all around the world. Please, please, please make this possible. I love you guys, and with all the ideas you have implemented over the past few years, I'm sure you will get this one right as well. The Eagle team remains dedicated to providing a 30-day free trial and their unique offer of a one-time purchase with lifetime free updates. If you're still undecided about purchasing the app, now is the perfect time. The price will increase slightly to $34.95 starting November 1st. This is a small increase from the original $29.95 they started offering Eagle for 8 years ago. And if you want to save some additional money, make sure to sign up for my newsletter and I will share a discount code with you. Considering the value and features included, I believe this is a very fair price. I would have certainly paid more, or paid again for major updates like this one. But I guess I'm just used to subscriptions, which are oftentimes a lot more expensive. Getting all these features with lifetime updates for a single payment is truly exceptional in my opinion, and something I wish more companies would be doing. With Eagle's new third-party plugin system, the app will greatly benefit from a larger user base. Therefore, I encourage you to spread the word about this amazing app. If you love it as much as I do, you'll see even more benefits, especially as new developers create plugins to enhance its functionality. They will soon publish a new website, which will reflect all of the new features and hopefully attract even more people. Before wrapping up this video, I would like to give some special thanks to Wayne, who wrote the introductory article on Eagle 4, which was really helpful to me while I was working on this video. I will be here publishing more videos on how to use Eagle more efficiently in the future, and if you're a creator and want to learn some new tricks every now and then, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.